MHU on three. 1, 2, 3.
MHU.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another edition of Inside Line Football. Adam Williams joining you once again, and as always, head football coach Tim Clifton. Coach, the momentum kept rolling through senior day. 6 in a row, 12 seniors honored prior to the start of the game. There's a lot to discuss, but let's talk about that crew and what they've meant to this program over their 4 or 5 years here.
Well, it's a great senior group. We have some guys that have come back for that 5th year, that super senior, I don't know what all they call it, but those guys decided to come back and play another year and could have graduated, and some of them have already graduated. So, but this group has they've worked to make this thing work this year. They've worked extremely hard. They've been great leaders. Over the years, they've hung with the program. They've stayed with it. They never blinked. They kept working, and it's just a great group of seniors. And even with COVID coming along, it was nice to see these guys stay put, and nice to see them finish out their careers in the way they're finishing out their careers. But like I told the players before the game, this group, we basically had a motto on this year: no rest until respect. And these guys have really worked extremely hard to get respect in this league and get respect in Division II football. And their leadership has been just unbelievable for us.
A lot of key players, and I'm sure if we went down the list, we could be here an hour. But maybe an end of the year show recap, we'll hit on them individually. But we focused the Saturday, and Coach, in the past you've said that homecoming, in the best way, can be a distraction, right? You have a lot of people returning, a lot of faces that you haven't seen in a while,
That's right.
Potentially some new faces joining campus. Senior Day is also one of those games where, again, in the best way possible, it can be a distraction. But it looked like this Lion team was able to have their emotions in check for Senior Day, and then as soon as they came off the field, it was right back to the gridiron as you guys were focusing on Tusculum and really took it to them, holding a 18-0 lead going into the half. We'll do some recap of the scoring in just a moment, but talk about that transition in focus. Again, it's a bit of a distraction. It's emotional. Parents are there, your friends, your family, but then turning around to arguably the biggest home game of the year.
Yeah, and it's hard to figure out how to do Senior Day. Some years we've had the whole team stand out there, and it's just hard. Yes, you have the whole team and coaches, and the last couple of years, this year we had just the seniors out there, and the coaches and the players were inside. The rest of the players were inside. But it's a time for their parents to celebrate their time here at Mars Hill, and it's a time. It gives me a chance to tell the parents, thank you for letting us borrow your sons for 4 or 5 years. But it's really neat that you get to see the parents and talk to them and let them know how much each one of those young men mean to this football team. And it's awesome because those guys, they reach out. Saturday, there wasn't any of them that didn't say, "I love you, Coach. I love you. I love you. I love you." And and to their parents, and the same thing. So it was really a neat day, and it was exciting being out there with them. And then, but they did a great job of coming right back in and focusing up and getting in front of the team. And we sort of had a little celebration in the locker room with them and brought them out front. And we could tell stories on each one of them. And like you said, it'd probably take about an hour, but it is a phenomenal group of seniors.
Shift our focus to kickoff and throughout the first quarter. Lines go up about midway through. Lafayette Gervin receiving an 8-yard pass from Jimmy Urzua. 2-point conversion is good. We go into the second at halfway portion of that contest. Jeray Morrison, 1-yard rush. Lines go up 15-0. And then at the very end of the half, C.J. Thompson, one of those seniors we've talked about week in and week out, makes a heck of a catch to get down towards the goal line with time running down. Line set up for a field goal, about 19 yards out, 18-0 going into the half. What did you see from the Lions in that first half? Again, what you liked and what you wanted to improve upon going into the second?
Well, I thought our defense had played unbelievable. I thought they had really played tremendous and played with a lot of energy, and we held them scoreless. And then I thought our offense, I thought we ran the football better than I ever thought we could. I didn't think going in, I thought we were going to have to take some shots down the field, and that it'd be hard to run the football on because they stacked the box. They put so many guys in there, and everything's downhill, and their backers are trying to blow everything up, and their safeties. And but I thought we ran the ball really well, and we took the 3 points at the end, didn't want to come up empty, and the 3 points made it, they're going to have to score 3 times to beat you. And I just felt like, well, we've shut them out in the first half. If we continue to play the same way, 18 would be enough. And but I was really proud of how hard we came out and played the first half, because we knew we were going to get their best shot. And we had to be ready for their best shot, and then we had to overcome whatever they brought with them, and we did.
Second half underway, third quarter scoreless, go into the fourth. Wingate, less than 4 minutes in, Tusculum, they get on the board. We're already thinking about this week. So Tusculum, though, 18-7. Justice Parham with the 7-yard reception. But then about 6 minutes later, Octavius Askew blocks a punt. I believe it's his second of the year. Punter kind of panics, kicks it out of the end zone. It's a safety. Lions go up 20-7, and that is your final. I want to hint on the defense, as you mentioned. We look at some final statistics, holding Tusculum to just 184 yards. The big number that really stands out to me, though, 23 attempts, 21 rushing yards. This rush defense, I don't know, has gotten enough credit throughout the year. They've been absolutely sensational. And, again, just another fantastic effort, led by a majority of these seniors that we've talked about.
Yeah, it's amazing you hold someone to 21 yards rushing on 23 plays, and but our defense is just playing with a lot of energy. I thought Saturday we were in the right place a lot of times, which sometimes you miss assignments, but and we chased the quarterback all day, that's for sure. But our front is some veteran guys. Earl Adams has been there, and Acevita, and those guys have been there, over the years, and Deshaun Goins, those guys have been with us, and Denzel Patton. I mean, those guys are fifth-year guys. And but our second level with our linebackers, Tyson Daniels, who came back for another year also, and Dexter Fitzpatrick and Landon Honeycutt, those guys, they do a phenomenal job. And Jabril Norman, a young linebacker. So our second level, I think, has done a great job. And then, we've been able to pick some passes in the secondary this year. I think our defense, Saturday I'm not sure you could ask for a defense play any better than our guys played on Saturday.
So anytime you can hold a South Atlantic Conference team to under 10 points, that's a huge win, a huge momentum boost. Let's look over some final stats from this past week's contest. Jeray Morrison leading all players, 26 rushes, 107 yards, 1 touchdown. Courtney Jackson leading Tusculum with just 19 yards on the ground. Trey Simmons, freshman quarterback for Tusculum, 163 yards in the air, 1 touchdown. Jimmy Urzua, 135 yards, 1 touchdown, both with one interception. But Trey Simmons, we talked about the defense, sacked 5 times. Fitzpatrick got there on back-to-back plays, just outstanding play by that linebacker core. We continue to go down the list here. Justice Parham with 56 receiving yards on 4 catches for a touchdown. Bo DeBerry leading the Lions, 46 yards on 3 catches. And then we look at defensive stats. Witherspoon with 9 tackles for Tusculum. Fitzpatrick with 6, but also 2.5 sacks. And Mikhail Forney, I want to bring up his name too. Kind of unsung on that secondary, but came up with an interception on senior day in front of the 7th home crowd of the year. And that's another thing I want to touch on. 7 home games, Lions 6-1 at home this year. Talk about some home cooking, Coach.
Well, it's good to be home a lot. It's the first time, I think, since I've been here that we've had 7 home games. And, to be honest with you, if we had a few COVID issues, would have won the first one at home. I just think we had we had basically 4 defensive starters out in that game and went in overtime. And if we'd had those guys, I don't think we'd have lost that one in overtime. I think the game we would have won it way before overtime. But it's good to play at home. We've had Saturday. I thought we had a great crowd, and I thought they were very vocal. And it was just a lot of fun to have another game at home. I wish we had a couple of more, at home.
There's always potential for one more, Coach. We'll break that down in the second half. But before we go into this break, you do some scoreboard watching. You watch some other games in conference. Our contest came to an end. We had up on the TV Wingate versus Newberry, a massive match deciding what could happen in this final week of the regular season. Newberry coming away with the overtime victory. We'll break that down when we come back and what the implications are as the Lions take on Wingate, Newberry takes on Limestone, and all the crazy happenings that could happen in the SAC standings. You're watching Inside Line Football. We'll be right back after this. Welcome back to Inside Line Football. Adam Williams and, again, head football coach Tim Clifton. We look at the SAC standings, and, Coach, it is anyone's game in the top 4 going into this final week of play. Mars Hill, Newberry tied atop with 6-1 overall record in the conference, 8-2 overall for both teams. Lenore Ryan and Wingate 5-2 in the conference, LR 7-2 overall, Wingate 7-3. Lions play the Bulldogs Saturday, 3 p.m. Newberry takes on Limestone. Some incredibly intriguing scenarios. We'll run down some for the Lions. Lions win outright and Newberry wins outright. It is a share of the SAC championship. Mars Hill wins, Newberry loses. Mars Hill wins outright. Mars Hill loses, Newberry wins, Newberry atop. So right there, just with two teams, there's all kinds of different scenarios. You throw in if Mars Hill and Newberry lose compared to what LR and Wingate does, that opens up a whole nother scenario. Again, just like our seniors, we could be here an hour talking about those.
Yep.
But, Coach, we said it right before we came back on. We focus on our game, your motto throughout this year and throughout your whole career. One game at a time. We look at the game. This is the game of the season right now. Mars Hill, Wingate, 3 o'clock. Thoughts going into this weekend's contest?
Well, we hadn't, as a staff and as a team, we hadn't talked a whole lot about the championship or the playoffs or any of that. We just talked about the game that we've got to play because in the end, it's just about this game, and we got to go play it. And we've been slowly climbing a mountain all year. You've been on a journey, and that journey and that mountaintop, each time you take a step, it gets treacherous. And if you're winning, and so that's where we are. I mean, we've got another step on this journey, and we got another game to play, and we can't. Whatever happened in the past don't matter, and whatever's going to happen after Saturday don't matter. It's just we've got to take care of our business Saturday, and we've got to play extremely well against a really good football team that's real hard to beat at home.
Wingate dropping 3 of the last 4 going into this contest. Lions on a 6-game winning streak. Something has to break in terms of that, but just more numbers. And, Coach, I kind of already have a feeling what the answer is going to be, but, again, tying the program record for most wins in a season, haven't been in this position since 2011. Is there any part of you that thinks about that throughout, or is it literally day to day, minute to minute, and once we get on the bus after Wingate, no matter what happens, that's when we can kind of look back?
Yeah, you just have got to have tunnel vision, and that's where we've been all year. We've had to look at the week we're playing, and we had a hard stretch right through the middle, and Wingate just went through a hard stretch, and we had that tough stretch there with LR and Newberry, and then we had Catawba and Barton come through here. So we went through a hard stretch there, and not that any of it. The rest of it's been easy. Tusculum has been an unbelievable adversary over the years and been an unbelievable rivalry over the years. So, we just trying to get to the next one. We're looking forward to playing again, and it just happens to be on the road, and we've done well on the road. So, we just we still got to keep climbing the summit and plant the flag on the summit when the time comes.
So you mentioned on the road, that 3 p.m. kickoff. Again, we've talked about in the past, you kind of prefer that 1 to 1:30 range. The mindset and kind of the focus gearing up for those conditions. And if I'm not mistaken, I also believe it's Wingate Senior Day, which we've already spoiled one. Or excuse me, I think it was a homecoming. Either way, we spoiled the celebration. Are we up for a second one this year?
Well, that's going to be seen. I mean, we'll see it come Saturday. At 3 o'clock. Some ways it helps you because it's such a long trip. But you got to find ways to prepare. Just like we had a late start over at Newman, a late start over in Limestone, and you have to figure out how to do the Saturday. and how you going to do this Saturday, and everything else is, you try to prepare same way every week. But the game day, it's a little different. People, one year, probably about 8 or 9 years ago, as coaches, we decided you had to play at 1 or 1:30. We wasn't going to play any other time. And it worked for about 2 years. And then the alums and the ADs and the presidents and everybody got involved and said, no, we won't play at this time. We won't play at this time. So now you have to figure, if we could play, I'd rather play at 11:30 or 12, to be honest with you, at home. I'd love to play at 12 o'clock at home. But there's so many things that goes into what time you play. And some schools, Carson Newman especially, at one time, Ken Sparks didn't want to play anytime Tennessee was playing. So I told him we need to start playing on Friday night if he didn't want to play on when Tennessee was playing. So, but it's you have to look in and you try to keep a routine all the time. And football is more of a routine because you're not playing 3 times a week or whatever. You play once a week. So, but we're looking forward to it. We're figuring out how we're going to do it. We figured it out yesterday, and we got to make some phone calls here and make sure we get things set up the way we want them set up. And it's a real tight area to dress at Wingate. The area is real small, so you got to figure out how you're going to handle that and whether how much you're going to be outside while you're taping and all those kind of things.
Lions take to the road, Wingate, North Carolina, 3 p.m. on Saturday. Video and stat links available on MarsHillLions.com. We're going to be sending out our radio crew as well, so we'll have an audio link for that game as well. You can tell that there's a different feeling in the air, Coach. It's been a highly incredible season, a very successful season, one more regular season game to go. You can call it a SAC title game. You can call it just another Saturday. But either way, you have the whole university, the whole town behind you, and I'm sure Lion Faithful are going to make quite a presence felt at Wingate. We wish you the best of luck this weekend and hope we can bring it home. For head coach Tim Clifton, I'm Adam Williams. We'll join you next week and recap the regular season finale versus Wingate on Inside Lion Football. Thanks for watching.
Hey, MHU on 3. 1, 2, 3.
MHU.